Hello students, today we are going to continue the second lesson, historiography, Indian tradition. So that already we have come across saying that Indian historiography has been got enriched with the valor of king as a extension of empire. Next to that, political events of the ruler's period. Next to that, the family history of the rulers. Next to that, social organization, climatic condition, famine, all these have been got included. That's what we have learnt in our earlier class. Now we are going to begin the ancient Indian literature including the epics Ramayana and Mahabharata, Puranas, Jain and Buddhist texts, historical accounts by Indian authors and also travelers by foreign travelers are important sources of history. So that epics of India, next to that different religious books which are available, Puranas, Vedic literature, all such kind, even along with that the travelers written by travelers have actually give much information about ancient India. Writing of biographies of kings and dynastic histories mark an important step in the Indian historiography. Harshacharit, written in the 7th century Common Era by Banabhatta, is a King Harsha's biography. It portrays a realistic picture of the social, economic, political, religious and cultural life during the king's time. So that biographies written by different authors helped us to know about the king in particular and his administration, etc. So that the book of 7th century Common Era by name Harsha-charita, which was written by Banabhatta, helps us to know about King Harsha. So that we come to know about social, economic, political, religious and cultural life of the period of the ruler. So to this extent, this book actually puts light to know all these kinds of information. So before entering into medieval periods historiography, let us come to first page of the lesson. You would like to know this. Shahagaura copper plate. The copper plate was found at Shahagaura district, Gorakhpur, Uttar Pradesh. It is supposed to be from the Mauryan period, that means Ashoka ruler. The inscription on it is in Brahmi script. The symbols known as tree in railing and mountain at the beginning of the inscription also occur on punch marked coins. Another symbol, which looks like a structure erected on 4 pillars, is supposed to be indicative of a granary. The inscription records a royal order that the grains stored in the granary should be distributed carefully. It is supposed to be suggestive of precautions taken in the times of a famine. Look about means here different kinds of pictures you are getting to see in the embossed form. So that this copper plates symbols used helps us to read out a lot, saying that granaries might have been given importance at that period to get protected from the famine, and kings was ordering utilize properly the grains of the granary, taking measures to distribute carefully. So that such things are in this manner it has become possible to read this Brahmi script. So that this tells us that here they have kept different kinds of symbols for different entities present on this earth. Tree in railing and mountain at the beginning of the inscription also occur on a punch marked coins. So that means even coins of Mauryan period also available. So that over that also we are getting to see This helps us to say that at that period itself, they knew to write and to maintain, to write as well as to forward the knowledge what they had to the next generation. To this extent, we are coming to know with the help of the copper plate which was found there in Shahagaura of Gorakhpur district of Uttar Pradesh. Now see, historiography in the medieval period. The style of writing Rajatarangini, the history of Kashmir by Kalhana in the 12th century Common Era is quite close to the concept of modern historiography. See now the difference. Earlier one which we have just now seen was of 7th century's work, that is nothing but Bana Bhatta's Harshacharit. And now we have entered to 12th century's Rajatarangini written by Kalhana about Kashmir. Kalhana himself says that he wrote this text after critically examining various sources like inscriptions, coins, remains of ancient monuments, dynastic records and local traditions. So that he has already said in his writing itself, critically examining various sources like inscriptions available at his period, coins, remains of ancient monuments and dynastic records and local tradition, he has written Rajatarangini. That means we can say here actually critical observation has taken place with the help of monuments and inscriptions available at that period to know the condition of the past. So that Rajatarangini has become a very good evidence or a source to know about Kashmir in particular, that how was that land, what kind of political system was present, social life was present, all such things of Kashmir can be understood to a greater extent with the help of Rajatarangini of Kalhana, which was of 12th century. So that modernization is to be seen with regard to that of writing of history. In the medieval India the historians in the courts of Muslim rulers were influenced by Arabic and Persian historiography. Among them, Zayuddin Barani holds an important place. In Tariq-i Firuzshahi, a book written by him, he has stated the purpose of historiography. According to him, the historian's duty is not limited only to recording of the ruler's valor and policies of welfare, but he should also write about the ruler's fallings and incorrect policies. Barani further says that a historian should also take into consideration the impact of the teachings of the wise, the learned and the saints on the cultural life of people. This Barani expanded the scope of historiography. Look about. So that medieval period, as India was got influenced by foreign invaders and their rule, even the field of history too has got influenced. So that the art of writing history of foreign authors, particularly Arabic as well as Persians, influenced Indian historians too. So that among Arabian and Persian historiographers, Zayuddin Barani holds an important place. Means his writing style has influenced several, because according to him, importance should not be get limited while writing history only to make to know the valor of the king and the policies implemented by the ruler for the welfare of the people. Beyond that, what are his fallings? How many battles he lost? Why he lost? What are the policies which have become flop, if we say in our simple English? Means the policies which have failed. about such also need to be get noted down while writing history. That means his intention is nothing but to make the future rulers not to get failed in implementing new kinds of policy programs. And beyond that, Barani also had given importance, saying that even people are having cultural life, so that how exactly and by whom their cultural life has been got impacted or else affected, about them also it is need to be get mentioned. That means in even importance should be given for saints, learned people, as well as wise people teaching. So that he says that to have a very good society, even people must know about the past times, or else earlier passed away hours great wise persons and their views. In the same manner learn people's views and even contribution of saints in the cultural life of the people. In this manner he had expanded the scope of writing of historiography. This actually influenced even Indian historians. For the historians, in the Mughal courts, praising the emperors and exhibition of loyalty became more important. The custom of adding suitable poetic quotes and beautiful pictures was also introduced. Look about. As Mughals started to rule here in India from 1556 onwards, 1526 onwards, Babur was the first one who started to rule India, belongs to Mughal dynasty. So in their court it has become a tradition of showing much loyalty to the ruler and also praising through poetic form. Next to that, importance was even given for a pictures in the sense not the cinemas. Beautiful pictures was introduced, means writing of pictures, painting we can say, finally drawing and painting was gained importance. Babur, the founder of the Mughal Empire, wrote an autobiography entitled Tuzki Babri. So he wrote Tuzki Babri, he wrote. Remember these books here, Tuzki Babri by Babur, easy to remember as same name repeats there. And here Zayuddin Barani wrote Tariki Firuz Shahi. Tariki Firuz Shahi, thus he wrote. Remember the book's name. And Rajatarangini, Kalhana and Harsha Charita by Bana Bhatta. It contains the description of the battle fought by him. Babur also recorded his minute observations of various regions and cities travelled by him, including the local economy, customs and the flora. Look about one thing. In his Tuzki Babri he has written the battles fought by him, and also along with this, as he was a keen observer, he had even mentioned the economy, customs and flora of the region where he had visited. So that his book also highlights different kinds of aspects which were present during his period. Abdul Fazl's Akbarnama is very important from the viewpoint of critical historiography. His method of collecting authentic historical documents and their scrutiny is looked upon as a devoid of bias and hence realistic. That means look about till now we have come across a Babur for what he had given importance in his Tuzki Babri. Now Abdul Fazl, who wrote Akbarnama, means by this hour you will come to know that this person was living during Akbar's time. So in his Akbarnama he had given importance to critically observe everything and then only to write, so that his writings were free of bias and they were much realistic. The whatever details he had given were with the reality or else truth. To this extent he had given importance for writing history. Next to that, we are reaching to that of Maharashtra now. Bakhar is an important type of historical documents of medieval times. It contains eulogies of the heroes and stories of historic events, battles, lives of great men. Look about means medieval periods writing here in Maharashtra, in which one document, historical document available is of Bakhar. So that it is going to tell about how exactly rulers lived, what kind of rule was theirs. So that they contains narration of heroes and stories of historic events, battles, lives of great men, etc. So that successful persons details can be seen in the Bakhars. Marathi Bakhars are of various types. Sabasad Bakhar was written by Krishnaji Anand Sabasad. Very easy to remember. Sabasad Bakhar by Krishnaji Anand Sabasad, KAS, during the reign of Chhatrapati Rajaram Maharaj. It is an important Bakhar for getting information about the rule of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. So that Chhatrapati Rajaram Maharaj's time this was got written, and it highlights even the rule of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj too. So that to know much about Shivaji Maharaj's rule, if we reach to the Sabasad Bakhar, it will be better to know, because this book was written during the same period. Because what happens after time passes, or certain kinds of changes are going to be made while writing. So that the sources of the period are going to highlight a lot to the truth. Next to that, Bhau Sahebanchi Bakhar describes the battle of Panipat. Thrice Panipat battle was fought. In the first Panipat, Babur became able to enter India and to rule India. Another Bakhar entitled Panipatchi Bakhar is also about a same event. Holkaranchi Kaifiyat provides information about the Holkars and their contribution to the Maratha rule. In this manner, the Panipatchi Bakhar, Bhausahebanchi Bakhar about Panipat it is going to explain, and Holkaranchi Bakhar it is it is going to mention much about the contribution of Holkar rulers to that of Maratha region. Ahalya Holkar, Ahalya by Holkar, you may be heard about her. Bakhars can be divided into various types such as biographies of kings, dynastic history, descriptions of events, history of a sect, autobiographies regarding grievances based on mythologies, and state administration by a king. So that these Bakhars are of different types. So examples have been got given. Few biographies are there which are which are of kings. Next to that, dynastic history means a family, what we say, the details about families of rulers are going to be explained. Description of different kinds of events which have taken place, or else history of different kinds of sects which were present at that period. Autobiographies written by the rulers, or else great persons of the period. All in this manner, those are going to give us a lot of details about administration of this ruler, or else how exactly at that period social life was present, political life was got carried on, and economic life of the people. All such things we are coming to know with the help of these kinds of documents. So that with the help of such documents only, historiography should be narrated, history should be narrated as if it becomes possible to reach to the truth, or else we are becoming able to know the truth. That's why here all such things have been got included in this lesson, that while writing history, what factors have to be given importance. Do you know Al-Biruni wrote in Arabic about Indian knowledge and social life. In the following period, many books about India were written by foreign scholars. Among them, the name a few are Hasan Nizami's Tajul Masir, Minhaji Siraz, Tabqat-i-Nasiri, various works by Amir Khusro, Tuski-i-Timuri, the autobiography of Taimur, Taimur-i-Lang, who was also known as Amir Taimur, who invaded India, Tariqi Mubarak Shahi by Yahya bin Ahmad Sirhindi. Their accounts provide us with the historic information of a Sultanate period. As Mughals ruled in the same manner, Sultanate dynasty was also present, or else Sultans we say. Sultanate or else a Sultan. So about that it highlights a lot. Accounts of foreign travelers in India are also important. Among them are Ibn Battuta, Abdul Razak, Marco Polo, Niccolo Conti, Barbosa and Domingos Paez. Their accounts provide us with historic information of medieval India. Ishwar Das Nagar, Bhimsen Saxena, Kafi Khan and Niccolo Manussi were among the historians of Aurangzeb's time, whose accounts are important source of Mughal history. We know Aurangzeb was very cruel ruler who actually even imprisoned his own father, and too cruel he was, so that during his period some of the writers too were present. Their writings actually help us to know about the history of a Mughal dynasty. So all these have been got given here. These names are bit difficult to remember. Only by reading and everyday recalling you can become able to keep this in mind, because like Indian names, these are not easy ones to remember. Indian names are quite easy to pronounce as well as even to remember, because India as a whole has got influenced by the sacred language called Sanskrit, so that these names are going to have meaning of its own, so that it becomes, that's why it becomes easy to remember quite easily. But though foreign names are so according to the languages, but tough to remember them so easily, because its pronunciation is only difficult. India's pronunciation is quite easy, and beautiful names are present, and also with meaning they can be seen. Okay, anyhow here now I am going to stop.